Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing? Yo, I'm doing fine. I actually realized we didn't do the giveaway after all yesterday because the codes I had were not working, but I got new ones now, so I can do that later. Name the music. This is Dark Tides Scandroid that I just played. Hello, Sina. Alright. We want to work on some leveling builds today because I have to get those setups ready to actually write them. I do have some things already prepared for this. Let me see. Here we go. Okay, so this is where I want to start. One second. My fan and it felt a bit intense here, going exactly towards me. I have to actually go and play video games at some point. Tomorrow there's a Das Epoch new cycle start. I kind of feel tempted to log in, but I'm not sure exactly, you know, how much time I have and stuff. Like, I have so much work to do. Like, every day right now is like, I don't know, 8 hours of maximum work or something. So, hi, Jack. First of all, let's finish this thing, yeah. Okay. Not that does. And I guess this would just be like armor res and stuff like that, like this. Armor res. This would be like attack speed crit or something. What is this? This is kill volley, so good kill volley ranks maybe? Like that. I should check like what else is there like that we could use in the codex. Here, turbulence, swordcast vortex. I mean, it's kind of nice, but probably not really that important. Every second while moving, gain 10% bonus movement speed for 2 seconds. I wonder if this actually just like ticks once a second while moving or something, and they can actually keep it up even while stutter stepping. That'll be kind of neat. Okay, we'll see. Movement. Poison. I guess I have to crit, attack speed, and then, I don't know, res. Okay, something like that. When's Merlin? Hi, Kieran. Maybe Merlin will show up later. We'll see. So we have decks here as well. Does this armor formula actually show us, like, for example, level 30? Reduces incoming physical damage taken up to 85%. It doesn't have the formula, I think, for the different levels. Unfortunate. Okay. So this will be like Pedify. And here. Cooldown Warcry. Oops. So like that. I wonder if it would make sense to actually change this. The cooldown thing is 50 offering. For example, spend 5% of your maximum resource is 2. So yeah, this needs 25 times. So we need 125% of our maximum resource to get the equivalent of this. Yeah, we casting cooldowns all the time, I guess, with this and this and this and this. Okay, so it's probably fine. 20 more cooking streams, basically. I will also play some games, don't worry. Just not quite yet, I guess. And do this. Hi, Bassett. So many variants to try on Spiritborn. Dude, I'll need like the entire expansion just to try Spiritborn. I feel like there's like so many builds. If you really want to like, you know, go and play them and min-max them and stuff, there's gonna be so much to do. And a pattern as well. It's kind of crazy. This one has the Seeker. No, Spide-Eye. Okay. Appreciate it. Hello, J Rockets. I'm doing good, and you? I kind of realized that these early game and late game builds kind of look different here. Look, this is like blue, 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 blue. Here's like very different actually. Well, this becomes Rock Splitter at least. So we got this. But yeah, Armored Hide is not really an early game thing. It's gonna be more late game thing. There's also the Hunter, and here's the Eagle, the Seeker. Which I guess is fine. It's gonna be interesting to like make all these progression steps and then have all the swaps and whatever, man. Holy. There's like so many things you have to change here as you level. Spin to win Rogue. Yeah, I think that's gonna be probably by far the most played build forever. At least after Season 6, some Spiritborn stuff. How's the Spiritborn builds going? Yeah, we're working on it. I will try to make some leveling setups right now, and I also want to see like where's the like how's the progression gonna look like basically, because we're kind of in the process of finalizing the new templates that we're gonna use for the Maxwell leveling and endgame guides, and there has been a lot of work done, and you know like more details, and you know there's basically more steps now with like okay starter leveling, you know early endgame whatever, and I'm trying to kind of like, you know, actually use that, those guidelines that we made, basically, to see like how this will go. So we have like, you know, multiple steps. And I've been working out on this on the last few days, basically. think the Poison and Centipede Spiritborn will be decent. Yeah, like Stinger in particular, I think it's gonna be one of the strongest builds. Depending on the variation. I'm not so sure about the Centipede ult right now, but there's certainly ways to make ults pretty good. Noxious Resonance is very strong in general, so there's a few things like that. Yeah, also probably gonna start Quill Volley myself, so that's probably my racing build here. Quill Volley is the plan. And if somehow that doesn't work out, then Stinger. Stinger should have probably the most DPS, but this might not be necessary. Actually have to check how much damage there is for not having Shroud of False Death. It is quite a bit, but on the other hand, without a Harmony Helm, maybe not so bad. Since it's like Jaguar, like, you know. Yeah, okay, you know, here's like a bit more damage, and here and here. But maybe it's alright. Yeah, what I'm doing here right now is a leveling setup, so there's like a 1 to 60 build. And this here is like the endgame version, but there's still like, you know, at least 2 more steps in between that I have to make. Which is like the endgame starter and then the endgame kind of like, you know, mid-tier. So these are not done yet, so I'm trying to kind of connect them right now. And also I'm like making like the early game stuff here a little bit, so this is what I'm doing. So first I want to see if there's like more good codex powers I would care about, yeah. Let's check a little bit. Does the codex search work? No, so I have to look it by hand. Let's see if there's anything. And cast an incarnate skill. So this means in that case a Ravager. And that's it. Okay. Yeah. Killing a vulnerable enemy echoes 55% of the killing blows space damage to another enemy. I mean, it is kind of nice. But on the other hand, with Quill Volley, probably not really good. And if you poison, have 100% reduced healing, and the evil skills gain him crit chance. It's not good enough either, I think. And then for resource aspects, there's literally only one, which is Umbral in the Codex. So not really impressive here, I gotta say. Let's check this. There's Disobedience that we could throw in there, just 25% more armor. Which is not a bad idea, I think. It's also this here. 5% increased armor and thorns per 1% missing life. I wonder if that would be worth using. It says literally 0 thorns because the body power is so low. So I guess it's not really worth using unless you like, you know, half HP or something. Okay, you're gonna get out of armor. But maybe that number is also getting nerfed. Yeah. I might just throw in a Disobedience, yeah, it's like a nice to have. Like that. Yeah, this is everything built right now I'm doing. And here we will put emeralds. Let's just put diamonds here. Get extra res. This helps quite a bit early on. So I have Soar, Cast Vortex. I mean, that's kind of cool to have early on, I think. Okay, so I have to think gear now. Alright. Now I think we should probably start from here and then make like progression steps. So what is like pre-mythic? First of all, do we even want mythic? There's actually a good chance we do not just don't play mythic at all. So if we do this would be a normal chest, and this would be most likely interdiction aspect. Let me do this. Let me do. How's this looking? Armor, I suppose. Life. The rest seems to be covered. So that's Vigor per second. Do we care about it? Not really. Do we care about armored height? Probably not really either. Although we don't have that much cooldown on this. I mean, this would actually just be a dex angle. Some extra DPS. So something like that, probably. Let me do the maximum resolve stacks. This might honestly just like the better way to do this. Yeah, freeze, stun, immobilize. So this is just like a slow angle. Is there anything else in terms of utility? Doesn't appear so. So just more stagger. Yeah, this might just be better. So we'll see. Thank you so much for the prime, by the way. I Rono. When will max out the Spiritborn guides posted? I mean, leveling guides are less risky, let's say, in terms of like what they're gonna nerf and buff and whatnot, right? I mean, I do expect a lot of these numbers at least to change on some of the aspects and the uniques and so on. Like a lot of stuff is like clearly overtuned. The Paragons as well. Paragons are certainly outdated. But yeah, in terms of leveling builds, this is not such a huge concern. Because you will barely have aspects and no Paragons. So we will probably post them a bit sooner. And then the endgame guides will probably be, you know, maybe if you can data mine or whatever. And then, yeah, like, I guess there will be some speculation involved. There's like nothing we can do about it. But yeah. Probably like right before launch at some point, the endgame guides. Do you know if resolve generated temper would add to the passive on armored height? Yeah, I'm not sure what else it would do, to be honest. So when it says like plus resolve generated, I would expect that this means that when you get resolve from armored height, I mean, this is the primary way to gain resolve. And when you press it actively, it will fill up your resolve. So the only actual like passive income is this here, the armored height passive. So it would be kind of strange, right? Because you have the armored height resolve regeneration rate, and then you have the plus resolve generated. I mean, this is like obviously way stronger. Like this happens more frequently, but here you just get like, you know, 6 times the amount or something, 8 times the amount suddenly. So it's kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, there's some aspects, sure, but realistically, you're not gonna go for that, and you probably just rely mostly on armored height. I think this is a start. Like, especially if you temper the maximum resolve stacks, which also has the extra benefits of, you know, giving you insane DR from Perseverance, and then extra damage from Colossal. So these are synergies I haven't literally ever built right now. So unless they really nerf these or cap this or something, I think this will be generally the way to go for the start. And this means that you can't really go for the exact plus resolve generated, and you don't have to either. Like if you have like 3 temporars of maximum resolve stacks, you're gonna have like 40 stacks or some shit. And it's kind of hard to lose 40 stacks before your armored height is ready again. Especially if you have a bit of cooldown in your setup. So it's probably gonna be fine. Like if there's like a bit of stun and freeze, like this build has stun, freeze, and whatever. Like you're just gonna like throw your stuff into a pack, everything is stunned anyway. And yeah, there will be like these random hits that you're taking. But I don't think it's gonna be such a problem. 3 days you write to the channel and 3 days you're not playing. Well, prepare for another 3 weeks of that. Okay. Although on 27th we're gonna play Dwarven Realms for the launch. And in between we probably might play some other games as well, like tomorrow's Last Epoch maybe. Not here. What is the strongest Spiritborn build? Yes. I mean, the way it looks right now, I would say Stinger. But, yeah, I mean, this is obviously a huge question mark because there will certainly be nerfs and odds on for launch, so. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do another campfire chat soon. How big is the cookbook now? Well, oh, there's like, I don't know, a dozen or so setups. I'm not sure if stuff like bitter medicine will actually be a thing, but I have a concept at least for it. We'll see when I get the time to try them. Support builds. Yeah, there's like nothing supportive here on this class, besides pulling of Vortex, but that's not enough. I don't think the support build is a thing. I guess technically you can support a poison rogue with Devourer. The whole cookbook is getting big. Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to go look through every, you know, main build archetype once, every core skill and so on, just to kind of like understand, okay, what do we do, and have like a baseline established. And then it also comes down now to, for example, I will be writing some of the Spiritborn guides on Maxroll, and you know, there's like more details I have to add now, like the progression steps and whatnot. And then I'll probably try similar for the other builds as well, but I guess it's like the priority for now. So let's check actually what we lose from Shroud of False Death if we don't have it. So we get a Potent, just kind of big. So that's like 7% DPS, and you also have lots of ferocity stacks, I guess. You have duelist. This is 6, 11, we have 15 ferocity stacks. So that is a lot of fucking damage here that we're not having. So this should actually look something like this, yeah. It's just too good, basically. So in this case, you'll get 11% per stack of ferocity. So it'll be 165 versus 150 bonus. That's 6%. That's 7. Okay, what else do we add here? Okay. Also this here? No, I have this, okay. There's also this. Each stack grants sovereignty up to 40. So this will not necessarily be active on the boss. On the other hand, we have 10 stacks to walk after the boss. So I guess it will not help us that much, but let's just say a little bit. Let's say 5% for that. This is nothing. This is also relatively mild. Let's say 3%. This is nothing. Then there's this. Do we have that actually permanently active? Unstoppable, or unhindered? I don't think I do really, right? We only have Soar. We don't even have Soar. I guess I have Armored Hide. Okay, not that impressive here. Apex is nice though. This means 24 instead of 18. And nothing here matters. Okay, so we're talking about like roughly 37% DPS for Shroud of False Death. Then it has Life, which we also have here. This one has all stats, this one has Dex, so I guess the all stats wins. It's like the same number for Dex, but everything else as well. It has resource generation, which with the Midnight Sunring will probably not matter really. It has a stealth stuff, which also doesn't really matter. And that's it actually. So this might actually just be better. Because here now we also gain interdiction, resolve stacks. Okay, how much block chance do we have? If we go with a water stuff, we have 45, 55. And that is probably it actually, right? It's 55 block. Can we see the block reduction? Is there any block reduction built in actually? No, right? Is it just that? If you go necro. Here it says 20% block and 45 block reduction. And the Spiritborn doesn't have any built-in block reduction, I just noticed. There's nothing on the quarter stuff. So the only block reduction you gain is here and here. There's only while active. And this is 3% per point. So this whole block shenanigans is actually mostly an offensive thing, I feel. I don't think there's even a glyph for it or something. But there's a defensive power. Reduction increased by 30% while you have a barrier. So it's also pretty conditional. There's no shields, there's not even one-handed weapons on Spiritborn. Hi, Yoga. Is the Barb or Adnis and Fist of Fate bug being fixed? I don't think so. I'm not sure about the PTR though. When is the cookbook getting published? Working on it. Like leveling builds, I'll probably put out first. But yeah, endgame builds, I at least want to do like a second round for everything before I actually put them out. Will the Spiritborn be as strong as Barbarian or Rogue? Yeah, I think most stuff on the Spiritborn will blow away everything else in the game. I mean, Rogue is really powerful currently, but yeah, the stuff here on this class is pretty cracked. Okay, what do we lose defensively if we look at Shroud of False Death? So also, wait, we need to finish the offensive calculation as well. So we also gain damage per resolve stack, right? Okay, 2% increased damage for each stack of resolve. So in this case, this would mean 6 stacks, 21, 36, and 8 baseline. So 44 resolve stacks. Means 2% each. 1.88. I mean, at the peak. And we would lose... Right. So to do this, and then here we would have 44 minus 15, so this will be 29. This will mean 58. So that alone already makes up for most of the gain that we would have from Shroud of False Death. And then comes the other thing, which is unyielding hits. It says 60% of our armor is added to all our attacks. And we have a lot more armor suddenly when we have an extra roll there. So honestly, I think Shroud of False Death might just not be a thing here. Also because we lose the block chance there per resolve stack. I think there's just like no mythic on this build. If you look at this. Let's go interdiction, and that's it. Like there's actually going to be a bunch of builds on this class that would probably not run mythic items at all. Which is kind of funny. Just looks like one of them. Because I just tried to calculate what is the benefit of having Shroud of False Death in its build. And offensively, we're looking at 15% right now, but this does not include the synergy between extra block chance from this and the redirected force. Which will easily make up for that, I think. Unless they mega nerf it. How do you interpret the character like your second line of text scales solely of the max resources on top of your CST stat? I mean, by critting, you will obviously include your critical strike damage additive bonus. But other than that, it's mostly just a resource scaling. It's required to be good and powerful. Yeah, I mean, it's fine if it's like a bit strong and whatnot, but I think they should definitely try to at least keep it somewhat reasonable and also not set the examples of, you know, like these like multiple hundreds of percent multipliers per item and stuff like that, right? Like something like redirected force, for example. It's just kind of like ridiculous and so on. So I guess one thing to keep in mind here is that Spiritborn is generally a much more complicated class than other classes, and then when the game comes out and everyone's gonna be on Spiritborn, like most people will have no idea how to make actually a good Spiritborn build. And even the people that make the builds probably have no idea either. So, you know, in order for this to like not suck for everyone, they have to make it kind of powerful, just because it's way more complicated. With like all the synergies that they can put together and so on. And then, you know, once the dust settles a bit, then you can also like start nerfing it as people actually understand the class better and know the combos and, you know, how builds function and so on. At best, the Spiritborn will be powerful within reason at launch, and over time get in line. Yeah, the thing is that, you know, you say 15% plus minus, that is certainly not happening, I think. I mean, just the fact that this is new and completely untested will definitely lead us to find lots of really crazy, weird shit and bugs and everything, right? So that's just how it's gonna go. And that alone will create some pretty ridiculous builds, I think. Alright. Now let's try to make a starter variant out of this. So this means no loyalty mantle. Well, in general, I guess it's gonna uncouple everything, right? Actually. Okay. So it's a 750 and 4 master working everywhere and also no GA. I'll put a GA here, so let's do this. Launch life is a 6.3k. It seems a bit low actually. I mean, we have 20 DR. And then, okay, actually wait a minute. So we have 1.5 damage reduction per stack of resolves. I want to see how much damage reduction we have. I could do this in the Google Sheet to like get an overview, but I can also do this here. So previously said the setup with a legendary chest would have 44 resolve stacks optimally. So basically we get 44 times 1.5% damage reduction. As far as I know, they are multiplicative, not additive, because else you could just reach invincibility. So in that case, it would be 0.985 basically. And then 44 times like this. So yeah. Like this. So this leads to roughly 50% DR with full resolve stacks. It's kind of actually interesting to see like how the number changes from step to step. And now if you have Shroud of False Death, that would actually be 0.98 because it goes to 2% per stack, but you only have 29 stacks. So let's do this. Interestingly, that's almost the same actually. At maximum stacks. It's slightly less damage reduction. Like the left side is Shroud of False Death with 29 resolve stacks and 2% per stack. And the right side is 44 stacks with 1.5 per stack. And this is the remaining damage taken. So this is like 51% damage taken, this is 55. Not bad. So Shroud of False Death is not really a huge downside for that purpose. However, you also have fewer stacks to work with, which means you just can get hit less in general. Plus you lose one of our CC tempers and the other synergies. So yeah, I think Shroud of False Death is just not good enough for this, to be honest. You don't go for it. As funny as that sounds. I mean, there are other like defensive benefits, right? You get like 5% more life here. You gain 3% block reduction. You get a bit better barrier there. We get a fuel that I don't have right now. Swift. Get healing there, unstoppable there. I wonder if I could get those points in here actually. That could give me almost perma unstoppable as well. I need to figure out how to solve resources here. Early game. Guess that's something like a walrus angle there. I think Blizzard won't change much until the final patch. I think they will change almost everything. Okay, here comes an interesting thought. So, do we still want to temper Primary, Jaguar, Spirit Hall, Potency if you don't have the Loyalty Helm? The answer to that is probably no. So here we can get 49% chance for kill volley cast twice. And here we have 112 Primary, Spirit Hall, Potency. So this puts our damage to 3.12 basically, right? We get 1 damage and then we get 2.12 damage. There's Jaguar, assuming that this just like exactly replicates the damage done. And otherwise, 1.49 times 2. So the gap is actually way smaller. I kind of like the idea of going for the double hit. But it's only a 4.7% difference. I mean, a double cast is also nice because you just get like more procs. Only like a hit effects. Which means you could even run Umbral if you want, for example. I think all these like hit effects and all these hits that we're doing, it might be kind of okay to just run Umbral as our resource engine. And then maybe on the boss you can now struggle slightly, or you do Vital Strikes and that kind of solves everything as well. We can do that. And then it's just gonna be an Accursed Touch. How about that? In that case, we definitely want to go for the Quill Volley stuff. Why make any builds now? Content for the sake of content? Oof. I'm not doing content for the sake of content. I think there's no point in doing that unless you are just greedy. I do stuff that I need to do, which is I need to make builds for people to play. So that's my job. And in that case, we are cooking. Because if I don't do this, who's gonna have builds? Going to play LE tomorrow. I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'll log in a little bit and see. I need like more res focus on this stuff. What's the armor on this actually? Is it something like this? This one already has armor and res. This has armor, res. Armor, res. It looks kind of funny, armor, res. I mean, this is Torment 4, so I guess it might be fine on the res anyway, so since it's like a starter build. It might be kind of overcapped here. It's okay. You also don't need a chance to make vulnerable here. So this could be like a life or a dex roll. Do attack speed, crit. Let's do a dex here. Oh, wait a minute, we also have to remove the hunter cooldown. I mean, it's kind of tempting to go hunter cooldown everywhere, because that gives us the ferocity stacks. But now we're getting ferocity stacks anyway. We don't really need hunter cooldown that badly. I think Mystic Circle Potency is probably the better way to do this. Remove this. And this also means remove this. Kinda want to keep the Rushing Claw charges. I want something for resources. But you have a Cursed Touch, I guess you're fine. We don't actually need CC them very much. Maybe we're gonna put one CC thing here just to like have something. I think that's probably good. So like this. What's the crit chance? 40. I think this would actually be a 1 damage angle in that case. Which is the same as crit. But it always works. Actually, I just realized crit and 1 are the same number. I think this was not the same on the live server. But it has changed now. Okay, I need to put a power here. Resolve has a 6% chance to not be lost when you are hit for each stack of ferocity you have. I think we should actually do this. Because we don't have that many resolve stacks. We have 4, 6, 6, this is 12, 16, 24 stacks. And barely any CC, so I think this is actually legit. How many stacks do we have? This is 5. We have 10 stacks of ferocity, so it's 60% chance to not lose resolve. And not losing resolve means not losing redirected force. I think that's what we're gonna do. Can we do the block damage reduction? In general, we have not that much damage reduction, but we do have the forest power here. Which is probably fine. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do actually. There's a chance to not lose resolve. I think that's actually the best here. Because else the resolve stacks will just drain very fast. Because it gets swamped. And like this, they have a bit of recovery. I just reinstalled Diablo 3. Can you get Ethereal items in non-season? No, this is one of the season themes. You have to play season. Is Soar the only mobility skill of cooldown? Focus skills don't count as mobility by default, so you can see the tags. Soar has a mobility tag. And I think Hunter. I know it actually doesn't, but I think, isn't that part of the unique? I think the unique weapon gives it mobility. And there's Rushing Claw as well, that has mobility. I'm not 100% sure about blocking, not losing resolve. But blocking is only a partial, you know, damage reduction, basically. So it doesn't actually do that much to block. Block is more of an offensive effect than it is a defensive effect on this class, I feel. But either way, I think resolve still gets lost when you block. If not, I mean, if it turns out that this is not lost, then this is very nice, because then you can actually change this here, put it down in aspect and stuff, so that's nice. This would be completely pointless then. If you have 100% block chance, then you just don't lose resolve. Easy clap, right? So, I'm pretty sure though that blocking will lower the resolve. But dodging, I think, does not lower it. So if you, for example, press counter attack, then you should not lose resolve as far as I know. I do have a build for Spiritborn. Like a dozen. Weapons can use Quarterstaff, Glaive, and Polearm. They're all two in it. You know if there's a chance that EA will move to graphic engine like D4? I mean, I guess they're trying to improve the graphics in Last Epoch. But this is easier said than done. Let's make some Paragon variants here. Let's see what I can do here. Also, let's see if the order of the boards kind of makes sense here for this. So we start with Convergence, which is just always nice. Then we have Snapping, which is also nice for the resource. Basically, as soon as you get this, and then maybe some extra resource recovery or something you might not need. And basically, you want to replace a Cursed Touch with this. And then you can also change your key passive I feel. This is kind of like the big swap you're gonna do. Like here in this variant with the ring, we go with Adaptive Stances. But before that, we're gonna go with Vital Strikes, which also gives us a healing, gives us a resources. It doesn't remove a Cursed Touch, so it's just a kind of nice combo. Okay, we have Revealing, chance to knock down, and increase damage to crowd control, so that's cool. And he has Drive. Right. What about the... okay. So the Mystic Circle potency probably needs to go somewhere else. Spirit, Talon, Colossal. I would probably leave out this glyph for the start. And then whenever this board comes online, I would put Colossal. Because you don't have that many resolve stacks at the start, and this gives gorilla damage that we don't use. Gives us close, which is okay. Shouldn't crit. We'll probably leave the stuff out. Man, so many points. I don't know if it'd be fast to go through the top here like this. This is a life node that I don't have. Oopsie. Kinda want to have that. And this would be 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nah, this is just the fastest here, I guess. Okay, so something like this here. Something like this, I guess. And we have to do the glyph swap here of the Colossal. So I think we just remove this. And then we do ritual here. This means you have to get int. How much int can we get? That's 32. That's 35. That's 25. $37 Mystic Circle potency. It's not that crazy actually. When you have such a low glyph. Last thing, Mystic Circles, you get 10% and take 30%. Okay. So something like this, yeah. We just keep it on the starter board, I guess, until basically the end, and then do like the one glyph swap there. It's probably okay. Spiritborn with Thorns per class is direct damage, indirect damage, or just Pest and Swarm. Indirect damage. I think Thorns should be direct damage. Indirect damage usually means dots. But I'm not sure about Thorns. Yeah, I can have max 5 boards now. Raven. I don't think I'm going to increase the maximum number of boards. I think this would be kind of a mistake at this point. With all these points. I mean, I wanted to move away from people just taking glyphs and nothing else. And they've successfully done so. But now we have the problem if they add an extra board. A lot of builds will be in a spot where they just don't have extra legendary nodes to take. And the expectation is you take the legendary and the glyph on every single board that you choose. And already with just 5 boards, a lot of builds actually have problems finding 4 legendary nodes. So I think adding a 6th one would be problematic. And the same problem with glyphs actually. Like some builds don't even have really glyphs that you want to use. Dodge chance can dodge thorns. Yeah. I think about people crying pay to win because of rune words. I think people crying about pay to win because of rune words haven't been paying attention in the last 2 seasons. That's what I think. Okay, let's see the rest of the skill tree. So how do we go from this setup to this setup? So here we have to add an armored height at the end. You have to do hunter and not seeker. The sword that we're removing. Yeah, it's quite some changes actually. It would be hilarious to see PvP of 100% dodge, thorns, and counter attack between 2 spirit. I wonder if we could actually. I guess technically, if there's no cooldown built in or so, you should be able to immediately crash the server like that, right? That'll be very funny actually. Like if both Spiritborn walk up to each other and have the aspect where dodging gives you a thorns proc, and then they both have 100% dodge. Yeah, if there's like no cooldown built in, it'll probably just crash. Infinite loop. Yeah, I sure hope they added some failsafe there. Yeah, you can get 100% dodge when you press this. Need to try this for sure. It's a good point. Gain device by 0. Yeah, somewhere in the Blizzard headquarters, you know, boom. Uh-oh. That's a question. What do we do before we get Vital Strikes? I think I have to make a second starter variant. That is actually more like what we're doing here when we don't have aspects. Because they actually changed the build quite a lot depending on the aspects. Like if you don't have the duelist aspect, you don't need the hunter. If you don't have a cursed touch aspect, you can't really just rely on vital strikes to get you all the resources. You need to have the sword still. If you don't have the temperance or the maximum resolve stacks, I think we need like another starter variant, to be honest. It's kind of strange. Let's just call it a Scuffed starter. In that case, let's take this tree. So here we get our vulnerable, for example, the vital strikes. And here. I mean, most importantly, this is pre-accursed touch, I guess. Pre-accursed touch. So let's do that. I think it's like the main difference here, really. Accursed touch is the key. What else do we change? And then we do... then we can also do the armored hide shenanigans. And we have fuel there. Yeah, it certainly makes sense, all of it, actually. One thing I have to change is this here. I wonder if we can like sneak in 1 point in dominant. So here we also have Ravager at 5 points. We also have a strong focus on Ravager, actually. Which, okay, this is fine. No, it's fine. Don't think we need this. I think we're not kind of the field anyway. Or is it for 2%? No, we don't need it. Do we just keep the points in Ravager, maybe? Maybe it's not such a bad idea. Or Swift. Get like more cooldown there to go Rushing Claw. I think this is also good. This should probably work. Mobility skills, cooldowns are reduced by up to 3 seconds based on how far you travel. It should work. Something like this here. So pre-accursed touch, I mean, what do we do in that case? Also, this has like it should be flawless here. Okay, so basically this. You no longer call it a campfire chat since your characters no longer sit around a campfire. That's a good point, actually. Maybe they're gonna rebrand it. Oh no. Okay. I think I kind of figured out. Like the big swap appears when I find a curse touch. This means I have to make a different ring here. So what do we do before that? Unyielding hits. Rebounding. So I guess some other offensive power maybe that would make some sense here. Killing a vulnerable enemy echoes 5% of killing blows damage. Nah. It's actually hard to find like a really good power now that fits in here. Which is interesting. Since usually they have like so much crazy stuff. But if you don't go for uniques and all that, it gets a bit tougher. The chance to gain ferocity. Gain 1 resolve when he's dodge an attack and then potency skills. Yeah, rushing claws a potency skill, so that's not a good idea. So maybe we are gonna do the Fell Soothsayer thing. Killing a vulnerable enemy echoes. It's actually a codex power. But the only encounter skill we have is the Ravager here, right? Yes. So let's just put this there, I think. Now we actually have the same skill bar and everything. So now, let's save this. So how do you do this now? I don't know. Here, merge. Right. Okay, here we go. So we got this. Does this also have the skill tree? And the Paragon tree? No. Alright. So let's do it here. Actually, let's do this here. Copy. So this. So I think I should probably do all the progression variants just in the starter variant. And then just copy the last boards. I think that's probably the easier version here. So I don't have to like move this around all the time. I need to do this similar for the remaining guides, because there's a lot of like copy pasting like this, which kind of sucks. I don't want to do that. No. So like that. I think at least once you have to copy paste it down. So I have the progression here once. Then like that. Okay. Like that. So now merge. And okay, ding, ding, ding. We delete this. Do you have two skill trees here? No. He has two skill trees. What is this one? That's the hunter thing. Okay. Okay. It's basically this. Okay. So I do this. Which spirit will I lean most into? That really depends on the build, to be honest. Like, personally, I have not really found a big use for, like, Eagle Spirit at all, either primary or secondary. I mean, it may have, like, exactly a build for it, basically, the primary one, at least. That kind of makes sense. The secondary Eagle seems very shit, to be honest. I don't think that's gonna be a thing. Like, I see no reason to use this at all for anything outside of, like, maybe using Harmony Helm. It's kind of scuffed him, I think. And I mean, Jaguar primary is very strong, Jaguar secondary is very strong. Even the double Jaguar combo in general is very good for like any like kind of direct damage build that is not thorns. And then Gorilla primary is very strong for thorns builds and very good for like the low life builds. There's like gonna be a bunch of synergies for low life. But it's like very endgame stuff because you need to get the Jakim shell first and then actually be able to survive with just the barriers you generate and so on. And then secondary, I mean, Gorilla is also very good. Gives you the perma unsolvable. Extra resolve is not bad. Centipede secondary is also not bad. It's just like infinite healing. But the poison stuff and not being builds do poison. And those builds that do poison usually have healing built in. Stinger has healing built in, unless you go for this upgrade. Touch of Death has healing built in. Scourge, I mean, can do it. But it's also not really a build on its own. Toxic Skin has that, so like some Thorns build could do this stuff, for example. But yeah, we'll see, I guess. The thing is that most Thorns builds will probably go Gorilla, and then we'll have barriers, and then we'll not really care about healing. So yeah, I'm not really sure what to do with the Centipede secondary much. Eagle Spirit will get used only for Harmony. Yeah, I mean, there's like the Storm Feathers, and that could be just like its own build, basically, right? So let's say you go like Omega attack speed, you spam Thunder Spike if you want or something, and then you evade and kaboom. So maybe you can actually scale these feathers to be useful. But yeah, we'll see, I guess. I could try to make such a build. Yeah, they're not Spirit Feathers, they're separate, I know. So, yeah, we'll see. Big missile interactions. Yeah, I mean, I could have made them Spirit Feathers, right? Instead of Storm Feathers. I've not really tried them too much, to be fair. I felt like they were kind of weak from the start, and I think that, you know, with more synergies for other skills and more skill ranks and whatever you can get, this is just gonna fall behind more and more. So not really sure what's the intention here with the primary eagle thing. Maybe it needs like more utility or something. Or maybe just like bump up the damage, or like maybe make it scale with like a certain stat, you know, similar to some key passives or something like that. The evade build of big vortex would probably be crazy for farming XP. Yeah, I would wait and see about that. I mean, something like the evade stuff and the soar stuff is a very weak build in terms of damage output, I think. The only thing that can maybe save it is like the Spirit Feathers. And we have to see like if they're gonna be strong enough compared to just like spamming skills. And also how's the cooldown on the soar and so on. I don't really expect that boots that have 77% cooldown with a single Masterwork crit with no GA will go live like that, to be honest. So nice. Mythic builds cooking. Yeah, it turns out that you may not really use a lot of Smithics on this class. Kind of funny. I just did some calculations on Shroud of False Death versus a normal chest. And I'm definitely inclined to just go with the normal chest here. Yeah, I do agree, max CPS doesn't need to be very high if you don't find the pit. But I guess the realistic outcome is that Torment 4 will be much, much, much harder than what was on the PTR. Which means you probably need like some kind of powerful build. Or you just like farm on Torment 3, I guess. On the other hand, I mean, what are you doing with your life if you're farming XP in 2024? So, I mean, who cares about leveling in the first place? Or farming XP? So, especially when you're at the point where you have like, you know, crazy uniques and masterwork them up and whatever, you're probably going to be minimum Paragon 200 anyway. And then what? Like, I think most people would much rather focus on actual, like, other stuff. Okay, I kind of like the setup now, what I made here. Okay, I think this is what you're gonna write a guide on, actually. So, kill volley leveling, kill volley, starter, endgame. And then we'll see about like speed farming and... Okay, we can actually check, like, how would you make a speed farming variant and a pit push variant, and how would it differ from this? Oops. Would it differ very much? I mean, first of all, the setup has 6.5k life. It's actually not very promising, I do have to say. Maybe we are a bit low on the life there. But this is easily solved by just like changing an armor roll into life or something. Or a attack speed roll. I wonder if they're gonna nerf unyielding hits actually. This might be a bit more comfortable. Going for something like this. Here's like a woolen angle into this. Okay. Wonder where all these uniques drop actually. They haven't given us like any indication like which boss drops which of them and stuff like that, so I guess we have to go find it. Gonna be interesting. A grind to Paragon is going to be a chore. Don't make boss with more than 290 points spent. Nah, 290 is already way too high. So what we're gonna do on Maxwell is we're gonna have... Oh, this is like a bad example. Ah, it's actually a good example. Okay, so we're gonna have one board that is like all 5 with level 15 glyphs and all of the minimum amount of good nodes taken. It should be like around level 200. Same for this, just with level 46 glyphs. But I see here we're already quite ahead of, like quite above 200 actually. We had 272 points spent, so it's like Paragon 240 something. Then you have the endgame, where you have the 100 glyphs, plus you pick up additional useful nodes, and then you leave whatever else is empty. And then one thing I didn't do now actually is we do this, and then we do the all points spent variant, which is you pick up basically decks everywhere, like this. And then in some cases you can also start repathing things a little bit. So this would look kind of funny in some cases. Like that. I guess I can like pick up all the other like whatever small stuff there may be. 5% is probably not enough, yeah, so... Actually, how much additive damage does such a Spiritborn build have? 1.4... 405, 1.6, 1.7... 1.8... 1.9, that's like 2k, it's not that much. So this means that a 5% magic node is 0.25%. And one dex node is 0.21%. So these 5% nodes are actually better on this class. Because they have so little additive. Because you have like Mystic Circle potency and shit like that everywhere. So I actually kind of want to pick these. Look at this, you also do stuff like this now. So we do this and this instead of this and this. I guess I should probably do that anyway. Look at this, yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Not here. Do we want to go for that dodge? It's 1, 2, it's 4 dodge. It's actually additive dodge. How does that work? It doesn't appear so. No, okay. Well, we get almost 4 dodge. This is 40.2. This is 36.4, so we get like 3.8. Which is a bit strange. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Probably not even worth going for, to be honest. Look, there's like this weird shit they're gonna do. Like, what the hell? Maybe we can do this anyway. No, because yeah, we have this extra dex node there. No, we can't do it. Because this is 2 nodes we need to make this connection work. Centipede and bone. Yeah, where are these TR versus crowd? That's bone. That's a lucky hit, I guess. Could be worth picking. TR while moving. This is a life on hits, but I don't think we care that much. That's crit damage. Okay, so I mean, technically there's like more stuff you can find to optimize the pathing, to like go through more dex nodes and stuff like that. You know, you want to basically just pick up as many dex nodes as possible. So we could even do something like 1, 2, 3, and then remove 1, 2, 3, and we trade 2 int and 1 dex for 2 dex and 1 will. And shit like this. And then you can like find like 1,000 things. The new Paragon system is pretty scuffed, man. With this like level 300 optimization problem that you have, it is very scuffed, I think. Because you take these like random dex nodes like this here, you know? And then suddenly this opens up another path to go this way. Like, I don't know. I don't like this at all. Where's Paragon 3.0? Holy. So this is what this looks like. Should Druid not playable this season or next? I mean, it is playable, but it's not a really meta build or something in both seasons. But they are buffing it with a new aspect, which is a pretty incredible DPS buff that for some reason is classified as a utility, which is kind of funny. And this thing actually adds the new boards. Oh my god. Which one do I have to click? This one, okay. Alright. Guess you also have to take it and put it here. Right. I mean, that's probably gonna be tweaking to do anyway, depending on what they do with all these nodes here all over the place. So we'll come back to this at some point. We're trying to go for and release. So the plan is probably if I will start Quill Volley. And if I feel like Quill Volley does not have the damage output, I will probably go Stinger. But as long as I can one-shot everything all the time and go really fast, I think Quill Volley is gonna be a really nice build. It's gonna feel really nice and smooth as well, and it's gonna remind me much of Rogue as well. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. We get the movement speed here for adaptive stances, which is nice. You have mobility here. Constantly high mobility of Rushing Claw. We get the move speed. 15% there, 30% there. They're gonna be pretty quick. It's gonna feel good. You wanna see the new XP breakdown graphs? I saw them already. They're pretty fun though to look at. Yeah, there's no way they're gonna change the Paragon XP, I think. And I think the Paragon leveling is okay. You know, make that Paragon 300 pretty long. That's fine. Hey, really, thanks for the 5 subs. How are you doing, man? Appreciate that. That's a lot of subs, by the way. Have I cleared Pit 150 in Season 5? I did not, actually. I was planning to log in and maybe do it with my Sork at some point, but we'll see. I think the Sork should not be too hard, probably. I mean, you only have to do 149 in time. And then 150 you can take as long as you want, so... Log in. Okay. Well, the good news is, this is done. I need to check what's my assignment for some other builds here. I guess Stinger is what we could work on. Because I'm doing that one as well. I'm not quite sure yet what we'll do exactly there. Stinger was one of the first things I cooked, actually. So I might have to do a bit of tweaking here anyway. This thing is a Tyrael Smite. Uh-oh. Interior Smite is pretty feels good, man. But do we want that? I mean, the good news is we don't need interdiction aspects that badly if we don't go for redirected force. And in fact, I actually do have interdiction here. This is Noxious Resonance. Everything Moon. Midnight Sun. Okay. So I think we will go for the double unique ring here.
Kiwi.
Kiwi? This one?
Yeah.
I have this one here.
But I wanted to try a kiwi.
Okay. Right. I think it's the one from yesterday, no? Is this not the one from yesterday?
No.
Oh, it's not. Yeah.
Surprise pudding with plum.
Okay. Okay. I guess there's a lot of stuff going on here right now. Thank you. Okay. Well, in that case, Nini just came. She wants kiwi. You know what kind of kiwi? I asked Chat, do you know what kind of kiwi? This one. The strawberry kiwi. Okay, let's try it. I'm not sure if we have tried it from like one of the little packs that we got. Rogue Energy. Are we making Spiritborn builds? Not,
What
yeah.
are we cooking?
You're making Spiritborn builds, not Rogue, right now. Okay. So we take a bit of this powder here. Mix it with some cold water.
Spiritborn energy.
Spiritborn energy, yes. Okay, let's go. Golden kiwi. This one is strawberry kiwi. Sounds very fruity. Ah, wait a minute. Yeah, we can also use a shaker for this that they give us. But here we go. Yeah, by the way, later we're gonna have some giveaway for Rogue Energy codes. So they gave me 3 codes. We wanted to do it yesterday actually, but the codes didn't actually work. So I have to do it today. But it's gonna be like an hour, roughly. I'm gonna give away 3 codes for a freebie from the shop. What? Thank you for the energy. Okay, cheers. Can you rebrand to Spiritborn Energy? Yeah, but it needs to be called Spiritborn Vigor in that case. Don't worry, I'm gonna play enough Rogue. Maybe not on launch, but certainly there's many cool builds right now. So I'm excited to use my Rogue Energy as well. Yeah, I wanted to use this one today here. This is like one of my favorites. So we have an entire big pack of this one as well, which is nice. Yeah, very nice, simple to use. Rogue Energy. Here's the link. They're making these energy drink powder. The powder drinks basically, just mix it in water and then easy clap. You get supplements, nutrition, and well, you know, if you're like, for example, blasting or a season starter, this is really useful to like stay awake and focus. And it's others here as well if you just want to have like a flavored drink, for example. And with my code wudijo, you can also get 20% off with the link. So check it out, guys. Alright. And we got some rice pudding from Nini. Let's check that one out. Okay, with Eagle Mane, these sorts of warm. Eagle Mane, easy source of warm. I would really call that an easy source of warm when you get like 2 Storm Feathers per attack.
Yeah.
And then you need to evade to proc it, and then who knows where the Storm Feathers go and what they hit. And then you have like 5 seconds of vulnerable, and then on the first hit of Vital Strikes, hey, come here.
No, you're too busy.
And then on the first hit of Vital Strikes, they disappear again. Like, what exactly is the point of the primary Eagle. When you can just get double damage from Jaguar. Like, how are you gonna make up for that?
Okay.
Yeah, doggo, guys. It's called Spiritborn. Hello. How's it going? He's looking at mommy now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Say hi.
Yeah. Powder imbue. We don't know when the campfire stream is. I guess it's gonna be in like 2 weeks. Go Gorilla and Fawns early. I think Gorilla and Fawns is gonna be very good early on because they did not nerf the Fawns elixirs. So you can use the Iron Barb elixir to get 150 Fawns at level 1. Basically. And if you then combine that with the Gorilla Spirit Hole, I think it's gonna be like just a very good leveling setup. Unless they nerf the elixir, but I don't think they have it on the radar. I don't think they're nerfing the elixir. So what's the go for Bone or Stinger? Ah, Stinger has its own Bone. Unless you go for the other upgrade. But yeah, Saw is kind of nice to get a bit of Bone. So for example, what I did in this build here is, as long as we don't have a Cursed Touch, we're going with Soar and Seeker. And then as soon as we get a Cursed Touch, we swap both of these out to get the Hunter and Armored Hide. Because then you have infinite Vital Strikes. But then before that, you kind of need to make it work with this. You out Elixir, get Needle Flare on 200 early, so all exposed throw Fawns everywhere. Yeah, fair. Can just go Gorilla, Hall. Use the Fawns Elixir. Definitely try this. Maybe that's just what you do. Like, you know, level 1 to 20 or something. You just pop the Elixir at level 1. And you just like throw Crit Volley. and the entire screen just explodes with Fawns. Yeah, I think that would work actually. I think it's legit. And then whenever the Fawns are not good enough anymore, you switch to Jaguar. Good idea, I think. And Needle Flare? How much is it? Let's say on a ring. It's 25% chance to do damage to all enemies around you and your minions. Around you? Oh, that's interesting actually. So this is centered on me. This is not on the enemy. Really? Actually, I wonder, is it centered on the enemy or is it centered on you? I guess they didn't really have in mind that there would be active Thorns, right? Thorns is always like a passive thing. I wonder if it's actually on you or if it's on the enemy. Yeah, I didn't put the builds on the Discord yet. I think the leveling builds I will start populating. Endgame builds, I need to do another pass on most of them. Yeah, it really depends on if Needle Flare works around you or around the enemy. Because if it works around you, it's not that good. Because if you're like shotgunning into the monster anyway, with a Quill Volley for example, yeah, what's the point? But I guess you can run to the middle and then shoot, and then kapow, everything explodes at once. I think that should work. Thanks, iPhoenix. It's an Eagle Spirit endgame build that works. I mean, if you're talking about Spirit Hall, for the secondary, hell no. For the primary, also hell no if you ask me. I don't really believe in it. I mean, the skills are good. Quill Volley, for example, and stuff, but yeah. Singer can make bitter medicine proc like hell. Well, the most you can ever proc bitter medicine is like roughly once every 2 seconds. Which doesn't sound like hell, but it does sound relatively strong. Diablo 3 PTR is delayed. Oh no. To be honest, if you're trying to do something like Withering Fist, it's gonna be too slow. Like if you do like a combo where you have like Needle Flare and Thorns and Gorilla Primary Hall, you kind of want to run into a pack and the pack needs to explode instantly. There's no time for Withering Fist and shit like that. What's happening with the PDR there? Did they have problems with the Mac client? Eagle skills look the best, so you have to go for Eagle. I think there's a lot of stuff that looks really good. And there's actually a few things I haven't cooked yet. I haven't done any basic attack builds yet. There's actually multiple versions of that. And I don't think I've done Payback yet. And I mean, I could also start working on like something like an ultimate skill build. I think something like a Devourer build could be legit as well. I wonder how a Seeker build would work. It does also quite a lot of damage. 420%. That's actually not terrible damage. I'm not sure what's the custom animation of this though, but let's say you have like... Let's say there is a way to spam Seeker. Would we do it? If you could literally just spam cast it. And the answer for that is probably yes. I think you could make a build where Seeker is strong enough. We made a Payback build, it will be an A tier with 50 billion DPS. Okay. Yeah, that's probably about right. A tier, 50 billion. It's like triple of Bone Spirit, you know, which is like the strongest build in the game right now. That's A tier, I guess, these days. Because Spiritborn exists. Spamcast Devourer. Yeah, I'm not sure if like Spamcast Devourer really helps you much. I mean, you get the big blast, which is cool. But it's only 140. And look at the Seeker, man. The Seeker is literally triple of that. I think what you have to do is you go Seeker if you want to do an ultimate build. Or maybe Hunter. It says 200 total damage over 7 strikes. And 50, so it's like 250 basically. And it can reset itself. But let's say we go cooldown cap, right? I wonder if that's actually true. Do we get 3.25 charges every 36 seconds? And then we can get a 75% cooldown reduction, so it would mean like 3 charges every 9 seconds. It's pretty good. If you're honest. That's like 1 cast every 3 seconds. It's not exactly spam territory, but it's not that far away. And I guess what he could do is go Prodigy's Tempo, and then like Omega spam a core potency skill, which would be either Razor Wings or Kill Volley. I guess even Razor Wings is probably what he would do here. You do Razor Wings, Prodigy's Tempo, Seeker. This is actually going to be a very interesting build, I think. You spam Seeker, and then when that is on cooldown, you spam Razor Wings, and then when, at some point after like 10 casts or so, your Seeker comes back, and then you press Seeker, and then you can also cast Razor Wings for free again and it's reset. I think that's actually a very cool combo. I think this could be a real build. Seeker, Seeker, Seeker. And there's also extra Seeker charges, actually. So maybe that alone also allows you to just like kind of get him back anyway. How much checks there? I'll make such a concept. I think it's gonna be very interesting to try. I think before I start working on the Stinger thing, I wanna do this. I made a Razor Wings build already, but let's see what I can do from there with the... let's do this one. Seeker. The Seeker. Sounds even cooler. Okay. So, I mean, it's actually the name of the ability. So we do this. We do this. Dude, Seeker on left click. That's how we roll, guys. Let's go. Okay. You can temper Razorwing and Seeker charge at the same time. So Razorwing is resource. Wait, is Seeker? No, they're both resource. You can't do it at the same time. They're both resource. Yeah. But you can do 1 and 1 if you want. Yeah. It's probably the way, to be honest. We got Harmony. Okay, how do we get cooldown for this? The problem is we would need all of cooldown. And the main way to do this would be with the loyalty or with Shaco. Maybe this is actually a Shaco angle, which is kind of weird. I wonder if I can try to make this work without cooldown. If we just went on Prodigy's tempo. But Shaco also greatly helps with Prodigy's tempo, to be fair. That's the only way to get ultimate skill ranks outside of the rune. Cast the skill for cooldown. How's the rune here with the all skills? It costs 400. Evoke a power from another class. Is there no better thing to do? Stand still. How about we do this? Then we have the cooldown and we do the gain all ranks. So this will help a bit as well. So it also means it kind of resets itself. Razorwing charges, Razorwing charges, let's do Seeker charges. Maybe we can get away without Shaco and without loyalty. I don't trust these cooldown values here. So what if we change this? I mean, there's also Flicker Step, worst case. Actually, one Flicker Step could give us our ultimate back as well, right? I just realized. If we do like Seeker, 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 and then we go into a pack and we press Flicker Step, that would actually work. It has Lightning Rest these days. Ultimate. Interesting as well. Seeker, Wish, and Intricacy, unlimited Seekers. I don't think that you can get unlimited Seekers by making it a focus skill. With the... And also you're gonna lose so much damage for going Wish. Like, I think that item's just not very strong. Here. I mean, okay, with Harmony... No, it doesn't help us for Harmony, since they are already Eagle. Like, this is Eagle. Grants you as mentioned primary spirit hull bonus. So this would make sense to do this if you want to use like a 4th primary hull bonus for Harmony, right? I think that's the way it makes the most sense. I mean, 10 ranks, okay. Prodigy's tempo, this is very helpful. It has crit, it has supremacy. Okay, how does it compare to, let's say, Jaguar? Like, one problem I have is that the Jaguar Spirit Hall needs 4 hits, and the Seeker does only 2. So I will not proc my Jaguar Spirit Hall unless I do 2 casts, which is fine in long fights, but maybe not fine in the small fights. But I think this is the way to go, because if you actually want to do some damage with Razor Wings, I think I have to do this. What else is there? Seeker. 110% chance for Seeker to deal double damage. We have Interdiction, Neck. Monkey's. Deflection. Materials. Planes Power. Ruthless. Redirected Force. Okay, so there's some reason to have this. Interiors to get all the defense. Very low life though. It says already incredibly low life. And it's gonna be less than half of that when I remove my weapon. So, Monka's. If I unequip this thing, I have 2000 life on this build. Okay. So if we do this, our damage goes from 1+1 to 1 plus 2.76. It's an 88% increase. As long as you get 4 hits on a target. Which is probably better if you actually try to deal some damage with Razor Wing. Which I think you will. Maybe this is the way to play Razor Wings. You combine it with Seeker and Prodigies. It does sound very fun. You can also do Potent for the bosses. I'm not sure if this will work out here very much. Or even the resolve stuff. Maximum resolve increased by 2. And then we get the Harmony Helm. I wonder how much I will nerf this helm on launch. Quite a bit, I suppose. Can we cast 3 times for free? Yeah, Intricacy makes the next cast free. But I don't think that you can just like spam ultimates with the Wushnak part. That would be weird. If they just allow you to like just like spam it, right? Like it resets and can be cast for free. I do not believe that this is how it works. Because then it literally needs 0 cooldown. All you put is like an ult, take the weapon, and then 1 point here, and you can just like spam your ult forever. And that'll be weird, I think. I mean, this is like completely pointless, right? I even have Rake here, like all the stuff is completely pointless. I don't have this on a bar, I don't have this. We have Ravager here. The question is, do we care about the Ravager? Mildly. I should maybe even go for... actually I just realized, with Ravager it will be very easy to trigger Jaguar Spirit Hall, because Ravager gives you multiple hits. So that's actually very nice. Okay, so yeah, it's not that bad. I want to get 4 more points in Ravager though, if you can. How do you make stuff vulnerable here? Makes it vulnerable when hitting with a crit or from behind. So that's okay. And then we have counter attack. And I think counter attack is kind of like a really weird thing to use on something like this. Because you're not really going to be much in close range. On the other hand, what are you going for? Don't need to work so much. Sword is okay and stuff. How about we do Duelist? We have duelist. Maybe we can find some other aspects here. So rushing claw charges, and if we do rushing claw charges, then we can replace this one here, and we can do seeker charges. And then here, maybe we're gonna raise our wing charges. That's a lot of fucking charges, dude. I mean, if you actually reset all of these charges at once, if it says 21 charges, and then it's just like, I wonder if it goes charge by charge, or how's it gonna work? Like, if you reset 20 charges in one go, then you don't even need like to invest in the razor wings or anything. It's just like cast this like 10 times with like, you know, we don't need the points here and stuff like that. We don't care about the damage. And we don't care about the deflection thing. So we do this. I mean, it will do a bit, I guess. I kind of want the resolve stacks there, I feel. And, okay, every third cast of the same chord, for instance, can reduce the cooldowns by 10. This would also work for Armored Hide. Because otherwise you don't really get, like, resolve very much. Okay, swoops down, deals damage. Knocks down for 4 seconds, and then guaranteed crit. And then makes enemies vulnerable. Can you spam 21 charges? Yeah, I guess so. That's the idea. And then reset it with a bit of Prodigy's tempo, and there you go. But yeah, this really depends on like how does the charge system work for this. Because it's kind of weird. I'm not sure. Negative Voice and the aspect of recalling feathers, since Voice makes the ultimate a focus skill. I guess you could do that. But it's like a very different build than Spirit Feathers. Casting a focus skill. Yeah. So you could use it as a conduit for your Spirit Feathers. But I mean, it's just such a loss, man, going for this unique weapon. I don't want to go for those feathers necessarily. I want to actually try to kill Shadow Seeker. I didn't post the Spiritborn builds just yet, but soon. The wording on resolve in combination with the glove unique. Wait, what is the wording? What does that have to do with the resolve? You mean that it converts every damage you take into a dot, meaning you don't lose resolve? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, that's relatively nice, actually. I didn't even think about this. That might actually how it works. When you take direct damage, you instead receive it in form of poisoning. Yeah, I guess this is pending interaction testing. But I mean, realistically, which build will really go for this? It's kind of like a nice defensive item, but I mean, most builds want gloves. Basic attack builds, maybe I would go for this. Since Pain Gorges is awful. You can just do this and just solve all of your defenses this way. Including resolve stacks. That's a good catch though. Maybe it will work that way and you don't lose resolve. So you got a cooldown for the charges. Yeah, the idea is we go Prodigy's tempo, and then whenever it comes on cooldown, like after 20 casts, we do Razor Wing spam. And we can do, for example, 12 Razor Wings, giving us 4 procs of Prodigy's tempo, resetting Seeker. And if that resets all 20 charges, then yeah, GG, I guess. I'm trying to spam Devourer. I already tried that when I played, and you can only have one Devourer out at a time. So unfortunately, you can't have like an army of centipedes. That'll be very fun though. What is this looking like? Oh shit, there's actually no Paragon at all. Okay. I never finished this Paragon board here, so I guess I can try to make this. So let's do conversions. Paragon 3, Gorilla, Jaguar, or Centipede. Yep. They won't have barriers. They do knock down actually. And you have this. Okay. We don't need the deflection thing, so we can do interdiction here. And then we don't need this, and we can do something else. We can do we have redirected force? We have redirected force there. We have planes power. Do we gain ferocity some way? Currently not. We need Rake or Thrash or secondary Jaguar. Okay, so I think what is going to happen is we do this. We don't really need to go for the crit damage. The Seeker always crits, so that's fine. We can do this. And we still have like room for another offensive power. I don't think we even need the Ruthless. So what we could do is... Okay, there's another idea. I'm not sure how we will do this though. I want to get unyielding hits somehow. But there's no good way to activate it while we're spamming all the other stuff. And there's like not that many gorilla utility skills. There's Concussive Stomp. But yeah, we can't really cast a Concussive Stomp every 3 seconds reliably. There's Rock Splitter. That doesn't help us with anything. There's Payback, that doesn't help us with anything. It's like too long cooldown. And there's Crushing Hand, it also doesn't help us with anything besides knocking that stuff down and getting a barrier that we don't care about, I think. So we need some other offensive powers here. So it's the planes. Let's change this, and there's 2 powers that we have to remove. It would be very easy to fit in the Spirit Feather stuff. Or it would be very easy to actually fit in the unique weapon as well. To be honest, like I'm really out of Maybe I should do Fell Soothsayer on something like this. Like, we always make everything vulnerable here. Either from the Razor Wings or from the Seeker. And the Seeker just kind of comes down, everything's vulnerable, and then kaboom, and then they just chain explode. That's not terrible, I think. Okay, we still have to change this one. It's like some unique ring. Stars has good stats, but it can't be a procatch of anything. Unless you go Rake or some shit. What about any of those rings? Okay, Ferocity grants resolve. No. So maybe I'll go for those gloves that we just saw. Because I have no core skill. And I don't really have anything else that I want here that much. I mean, it's gonna be like very tanky, and then we may go for like a normal chest. So how does that sound? We unequip this. We do this. We unequip this. We do this. Anti-venom, huh? I mean, this will make you basically immortal by itself. It's up to 10% chance to infect enemy with touch of death and clear the poisoning from you. Okay. Crit chance is very low, but it's not too bad. In fact, we don't need much crit chance. Maybe we don't even go for crit chance, really. Maybe like a roll or something. Just to like apply a bit more vulnerable. Even that is like pretty optional, right? Yeah, we don't care, I think. Like, at all about crit chance. Okay, we have a lot of armor. Too much, in fact. Do this. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, what do we do here? This is something like Seeker. No, there's nothing for Seeker. Something for Razor Wings. Also nothing. So there's like all these like size thingies, but there's like nothing really to take. So what do? There's a freeze. They can do like just CC, like stun, freeze, whatever. What's the arcade on this? 35, 22. Kinda crappy. That's the only stuff that really does anything. we can do a Ravager on kill duration extension. But we won't really need actually. Barrier generation doesn't help us either. There's res, and res, and res. We have 4 items of res already. So too much armor actually. And we don't have any paragons, right? So we're probably fine. I just realized if we do this. Maybe we have too much now. Still make this. The Necron gives resolve with ferocity, and the aspect that gives block chance per resolve would go with that build. Makes the crit damage bonus or block chance work. Yeah, we have the redirected force here. This is the crit damage per block chance. We also have interdiction where you get resolve per block chance per resolve. And you have many resolve charges. And now we have this here. And the theory is that with this glove, first of all, you're barely gonna take any damage because you have 85 poisonous, and then any damage you take is like spread out over 10 seconds, so basically nothing. And you have this healing received on top of it, which is crazy. But also, it may not actually make you lose resolve stacks. So if that is how it works, that's actually very strong defensively. Since we don't need core skill ranks or something like that, we don't even need crit chance, we can run these gloves almost for free, basically. Like, we lose some offensive power, but I'm really struggling to actually find good powers right now. So it's fine. Can you use focus ranks? That gives you extra stuff for Ravager, like 1 more min rank for ferocity. True. But usually I don't really like putting... what do we gain? Ravager, Toxic Skin, Vortex. Most of the stuff doesn't really matter though. The only thing that really matters here is Ravager, and it's not really our main damage. So I think it's not that important. I can still get another defensive power, which is nice. So alternatively, let's say Craze of the Dead God does not help us in keeping the resolve stacks. We can still do it with, here, Endurance. 6% chance to not be lost when you are hit for each stack of ferocity, so we're gonna have 11 stacks. So 66% chance to not lose them, which is pretty good. There's an alternative here, or we can also do the forest power thing. Casting a gorilla skill in Mystic Circles empowers them. I mean, alternatively, you could go normal glove, go forest power, you get the big barriers. Then we can go either defensively, also the block damage reduction when you have a barrier, or we leave that out, we just go forest power now. Put like the eagle or like sky power on the boots, put duelist on the glove, on a normal glove, and then you have the mystic circles everywhere. Would the unique ring be better? I don't think so. Like, I just checked the unique rings, I was not impressed by any of them. They're all like very resource based, and this skill, and this whole build doesn't need any resources. We don't have anything to spend resources even. So everything is based around resources in some way on these rings. And yeah, okay, there's like one that gives you like the gain ferocity against resolve, I guess, but they're good at stats, man. Okay, fueled is kinda good, but that's about it. Okay, perseverance is also kinda good, to be honest. Maybe. Hi, Filmic. Estoy bien. Dude, I might actually put an Edge Master's ring or some shit like this. What the hell? Because our range should be on that ring. I agree. We can get 100% DR from block. I'm pretty sure that all of these uniques will get tuned anyway. How does the Mystic Circle stuff work? I barely tried Mystic Circles, to be honest. Because I didn't know about all these crazy synergies that we would get later with like the Glyph. Like the Glyph is really the big enabler for this, right? And I mean, if they nerf Glyphs in general, then something like Mystic Circles is also massively affected. And this may not be the tech that they just put into every single build. Oh, it might still be okay, so who knows. But yeah, personally I didn't really try much Mystic Circles because at least at level 30 they were kind of shit. So I can't really say much about it. Dude, I really don't want to put Edge Master's Ring in this build, I gotta say. Okay, now comes another question. Since I don't really know what defensive power to put, what if we go the Bruiser, Unyielding Hits, Jakim Shell route, which also gives us even more of our cooldown users. So this will definitely make sure we can spam everything all the time. And maybe we are tanky enough for this. But then we need to get barriers somehow. And how do we gain barriers here? The only real way would be to go Gorilla in the hall, I guess. And this may actually be what you have to do. Like, I can't really find good powers. Neither for the chest, nor for the ring. And unyielding hits is kind of good. If you're low life, your armor can go to, I don't know what, let's say 10k. Then you get like, let's say 60% of that as extra damage. That's like a times 10 or so damage increase. It's definitely better than the Jaguar shit. So maybe this is just like a Gorilla angle. Like, I don't know what to put there. Even though we kind of have easy access to perma unstoppable. Maybe delete this. And then we do this. And now we have to decide, are we tanky enough? Or are we not? Do we go for Gorilla to gain more barriers? Or do we say we have enough? And we go with the Seeker does double damage. 97%. Hard to say. There also comes another nice perk, which is that we have very easy uptime on perma armored hide now, right? With Loyalty's Mantle. Again, +4 maximum resolve. Or we go back to Harmony. That's another way. We could do Harmony, Jaguar, no loyalty. Is that where I started? Did we go full circle? Let's see. Okay, this was Harmony, primary Jaguar, secondary Gorilla. And now we're doing the opposite, actually. Okay. Oh, passive healing does it have? Yeah, okay, we have a problem, right? this only works if we somehow spend vigor, and we need to get healing. We need to get out of healing. So can we do this? I could do Centipede. How do we poison? Scourge. Hitting an enemy affected by Scourge has a chance to life steal. We could try to just like throw in Scourge instead of counter attack, for example. This is an option. Toxic Skin. 15 seconds cooldown. Scourge is 12. And Scourge also has like a massive AoE. I don't have to walk into the pack to do this. I don't like the idea. Yeah, we have no space for that aspect, I think. I don't really want to go secondary Centipede. It does have enough healing. Even on single target, it might be okay-ish. Nah, it's not enough. Even on single target, okay. Yeah, I think what you have to do is something like Scourge. But it comes back very slowly. Only 12 seconds. It lasts 3. And then after around 2 seconds, I'll be drained down to 0 life. And then what? I mean, realistically, we don't care all that much about healing and draining. We just care about being at low life. So maybe it is okay to have like no healing. Maybe just say fuck it. Because all we want to be is low life. And then we do Bruiser. Then we do probably Plains Power here. Or Plains Power and normal. And they have big armor. Spiritborn plays more like Druid or Monk from the Free. Ah, it's certainly more Monk. Okay, that's interesting now. And now we also have Gorilla. Now we can do Resilient. And now I can also do this. Unyielding hits. You have so many like really big powers. You have like, the 3 big offensive aspects all in the same build. That's kind of interesting. I have unyielding hits, I have Plains Power, and I have redirected force. So one is the crit damage, one is the Mystic Circle ferocity stuff, and one is the armor damage stuff. You have all 3 in the same. That's kind of funny, actually. It's like the Holy Trinity. The Quark's going to spend resources. Next non-basic skill spends all of your primary resources to do up to 100% damage. Spending vigor. I mean, we don't have any vigor generation though. How do we gain vigor? We have max vigor. There's nothing here that will give us vigor. And neither does this. On trash, they have life and kills a passive. Yeah, true. I guess I put 1 point in fuel and you're chilling. Actually, we had it as 1 point there for no reason. Yeah, we definitely want to go and have like an extra there. We also want to get these resilient points now. So I think we have no choice but to remove Ravagers points, and let's do this. We also have Soar for no reason, actually. Can do this. So get the R. We should do that anyway. Okay. And then we can also go Auspicious. I think on a build like this, we kind of want to do this because we won't really have that much barrier. We can get some barrier here. We can also get some barrier from this. I mean, Ravager is something we could remove. Especially now that we don't have Jaguar primary. We may not need Jaguar. Also has a very long cooldown. So let's remove that. It's not bad, actually. Concussive. It's 40% barrier. And then you get 3 dodges for every enemy you hit. It's kind of wild. I guess that's how it works. I have not tested this. But I guess you stomp into a pack and then they all can hit you 3 times for free. Hey Michelle, thanks so much for that donor. Very bad stickers. I don't think I can change those, I'm not sure. Because Quaxon you can throw Temerity on. Yeah, Temerity is interesting. But Temerity only works with overhealing, so this doesn't work with the low life stuff. So I don't think so. What do you want to do with that? It spends all of the primary resources up to 100% increased damage. This also has like a very long activation. This needs 400 offering. That's a lot of Oh, by the way, we can now change this rune here to be cast an ultimate. Because we cast ultimates all the time. We get war cries all the time. And here cast a skill for cooldown, get +3 to all skills. That's kind of cool. Dude, the setup is very interesting. I really want to play this. I wonder if that works out. The Seeker. Let's do this here. So we need Mystic Circles. Actually, instead of Interdiction, we could think about going with the Forest Power here. So we have even more barriers. This gives us quite a lot of barrier and a lot of armor. We have 45, 55 block. Let's put unyielding hits on a two-handed. Since we're gonna have so much, and we need a redirected force here. Because I'm not sure how all these like block things will interact. Okay, we need this is crit and lightning damage. We can do Talon, for example. This is Dex. This is Dex. This is Strength. There's a way to generate vigor here with fitness, but not a very effective way. Colossal actually works in this build. We have Gorilla Attack, but it gives us close damage, which is not cool. And this gives us crit chance that we also don't care much about. And this is also, everything is Dex here. Okay, let's see what I can do for like big decks. These big decks. It's also not bad. This one is better. This one is good. And we need one more, so strength for int here. I couldn't do this. I might do canny actually. It's not really the craziest. Also, I realized it's time for the giveaway. A few minutes ago, I said we're gonna do one. So let's do it. You use the axe for temerity for drinking a potion, but you doubt you run temerity on Spiritborn. Yeah. Like the main reason to go for barriers on a Spiritborn is to go low life with the Chicken Shell, right? You have to like somehow get barriers, but I mean if you're low life you can't do temerity. Got to it eventually. Yes, let's do it. Okay. So, okay guys, the giveaway is we have some gift codes from Rogue Energy that you can use in the online shop that gives you like a discount basically. I have 3 of them. And I will set this up on 3 elements real quick. Let us run for a few minutes and then we pull 3 winners. Let's do it. Yeah, Colossal Glove is nice, I agree. I put this in many builds. Like, I wonder if they're gonna nerf these Resolve stack Tempers. I think they're too synergistic for late game builds. I think Resolve is not a great early on, and then it's just kind of like, it's pretty insane later. Okay, how do we do this here? Wait, where is it? Wait, I'm in the wrong setting. Okay. Got it. Okay, giveaways. Okay, I'll put this giveaway on Twitch chat, by the way, since I'm doing this for 2 elements. I can't do both chats at the same time for this, unfortunately. So if anyone from the YouTube guys wants to join. Okay, Rogue Energy. Let me see, what do they have exactly? They're coupons for the online store, but I'm not sure how much exactly. So yeah. Okay, I think I set it up. This should work. So it says in chat now. Alright, so we're gonna pull 3 separate winners. You have to type !ticket 1 if you want to try and get one. So if you're planning to maybe get something from Rogue Energy at some point, you can use the coupons for like a freebie basically. So you have to type !ticket space 1 like this. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna let it run for a few minutes. And again, for YouTube guys, you have to do it on Twitch chat. I cannot do both at the same time, unfortunately. Yeah, you can do it once only. Don't spam it, guys. Only once. Then you will be listed. And then I'll pull later. Okay, let's do the Paragons real quick here. Wait, I'm done with the Paragon board. I'm gonna speedrun this. So there's lots of really good stuff here. feel like many of my boards kind of like end up being fairly similar in this class right now, because I have like this bitter medicine board, which is kind of weird. Attack, dodge, life, res. Very good stuff here. Can I say what's in Rogue Energy? I don't know. They have it listed on their... If you type exchange Rogue Energy, they have it listed on the site. So I don't know everything by heart that they put in there, but you can check it out if you want. If you're like worried about, you know, certain substances. Versions. Let's do something like this actually. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom. I think this is easier. Spare generation is not a bad idea, I think, as well. To pick up here. Huh. So something like this. Oh my god. Okay, so movement and crit chance. That's kind of nice just for the movement, I think. We should pick that up. There's also life per hit, let's pick that. And then we go this way. Isn't that like ultimate damage on some board? This is like the one build where I actually want to pick like ultimate damage, I feel. So I should go for it. There's also res. How many points are we at? 51 left. Kinda nice to pick up res, maybe? Because else we have to do... We can do this as well, I suppose. Ugh. Where's the ultimate? There's also this life cluster that I didn't take. Okay. Wait, where is it? Here. Should definitely pick that, I think. It's a lot of like additive. Okay. Do this. Alright, so something like that here, I think is our plan. Alright. We have how many people? Let's give away last chance, guys. 26. That's actually very good odds. Okay. Anyone else? Favorite Pokemon? Why is it Vaporeon? Dude, I have no idea about Pokemon, to be fair. I had to stop drinking Monster and Red Bull. Yeah, Rogue Energy is actually like fairly smooth, I guess, I would say. In terms of the ingredients. Like, it's not like this insane rush and then crash kind of thing. But it's like more, you know, like a smooth curve. It feels really nice. Just like it makes you more awake and, you know, stuff like that, but nothing crazy. Okay, I'm gonna wait until 5 minutes, 40 seconds left. Ah, here, hitting enemies with ultimate skills heals you. This is actually a way for us to heal, I just realized. We can do this. Huh. Why not? And actually, I should do resolution as well. Double this bonus if you're only fighting one enemy. That's a lot of damage as well. So you're constantly spamming our ult. We should definitely go for that. And you get more points. Easier said than done. Okay. Uh-oh, man. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Close. Okay, here you go. And we're drawing favoriteness. Boom. 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 Okay, and Donzi, Kigako, and J Rockets. Congratulations. I'll DM you a code each on Twitch. Give me a second. So you can use that on the online shop for Rogue Energy. Direct section of Rogue Energy, they can find it. Cool. Okay. Okay, I'm sliding into the DMs. J Rockets. That's the name I recognize. Okay, check your Twitch DMs, guys. I did it. Alright, that was it. GG. I really wanted to DM. Okay. The more he builds, the less he knows about the build. XD. It's kind of funny, huh? I mean, it's something very strange that I'm making here. And I wonder if it's gonna work out. It depends on, like, it will mostly depend on how does the cooldown work. If you can, like, get 20 charges back by just spamming a bunch of stuff with Prodigy's Temper, then this is GG, yeah? If not, then I guess the whole thing falls apart. But if it works, then this is gonna be a kind of interesting build. And it does have some pretty serious base damage output. This is 420% per cast. It's a lot of damage. And you can also get a double damage temper with only like 2 procs, for example, like that. Hitting enemies with ultimate skills heals you. Okay. So this is a way to heal and then to get our cooldowns back as well. So that's another way of doing it. Yeah, I need 2 points here and maybe 2 points there. I need 4 points. I'm not sure where to get them, man. There's not much I can remove. I don't want to remove that. We could remove those two, I think. They're kind of optional. What's our speed here? 157. I want to move a speed. I definitely want those two. I'm not sure about the healing. Maybe we don't need the healing that badly. Or remove fuels. Onto this. Nah, I think I kind of want fuels just to get like the big chunks of heal. While then the resources, while the health drains and resets everything really fast. So I think I kind of like that idea. Casting ultimate makes you unstoppable for 4 seconds. Maybe 1 point there is fine. Maybe 1 point here is fine. So how about that? And it's very short unsolvable. I wonder if this actually allows you to cast an ultimate while you RCC it. If that happens, that's pretty cool actually. Alright. I'm quite curious to see how this will work out. I mean, there is a way to play this not as low life, go Tyraels and be very, very tanky. Or not go low life. And then we can put Bruiser. No, you don't need Bruisers anyway. You can put like Redirected or the Plane's Power from here on the neck, for example. So there's like a few things like that we can change. But either way, this should be tanky enough. We have big barriers and forest power. We have the Craze God. That's a lot of uniques. Oh, 1, 2, 3, okay. Very curious build, I gotta say. No idea what to expect, but I'll try it. Look at that nice skill bar. Gorilla, Gorilla, Jaguar, Jaguar, Eagle, Eagle. Beautiful. What is our healing received? Actually very high, I just realized. So yeah, even just like hitting a little bit. Here, hitting just the boss, for example, we'll heal for 6%, and then we get like roughly double here. Okay, we have no way to get nourishment now, I guess. We don't have the points, straight up. So I can't do this. But you have a bit more healing received. Yeah, so we're probably gonna get something like 15% life or so per target. So if you hit like 6 targets, we're gonna get full life by casting ultimate into a pack. And then in 2 seconds it's gonna get drained to 0. Okay. It's gonna have some pretty like high variance in damage output because of Bruiser's aspect and because of the forest power. Like if both of them are not active and we have full life. I just realized this is also a pretty optimal build for like Bitter Medicine. I wonder if I should put Bitter Medicine on this build. Because they have only generic damage increases to everything. And we have 6 cooldown skills on the bar. Like, if there's a Bitter Medicine build, then this is it, actually. And we have the glove as well. Oh. With the healing received. That's actually interesting. I think I should do it. But what do we remove? Drive. Like, to be honest, I like drive the least. We don't need a crit here either. Does the move speed count in our Paragons? It does. The move speed and crit is usually kind of cool, but this build doesn't need a crit chance. The problem is my crit chance is extremely low, and Bitter Medicine kind of relies on that. But it's still 13,000% damage. Armor and Amulet, I do have that actually. In fact, I'm actually not armor capped without proccing anything. Yeah, but okay, but you know, it's gonna drain some of our health and we're gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be fine, I guess. Okay. Casting barrier skill, guarantee a 5% barrier, up to 30 for 3 seconds. This might be actually not feasible. It's very little barrier. We are somewhat tanky, but we're not like omega tanky. So I guess realistically the only way to really survive is with Flawless Power proccing, because it gives you 25% of your life as barrier. And then with the Mystic Circle potency, it's gonna give you like insta full barrier basically. But yeah, before that you have to be kind of careful. So you have to run into the Mystic Circles and then you're a Giga Tank. And if not, then you're gonna be careful, I guess. But I think the idea of putting Bitter Medicine is interesting. Let's go and leave this here for now to see if we're gonna maybe do this. Yeah, interested in a phone's basic skill. Yeah, should be pretty good for phone's build. It works with basic skill buffs like Moonrise and adaptability as well, which is interesting. This does not apply to the Gorilla thing, but it does apply to Rock Splitter. Is this value correct on bitter medicine or a bug? I don't know. I mean, it's like its own build, right? Bitter medicine. Like, this is a build where you can use it, but it's just like a happy little accident. I made a build specifically for this that kind of works similar with the Jakin shell and stuff. I mean, you need this unique, and probably this one as well. So you need to do those two together, and then you can play bitter medicine. Basically. And as many cooldown skills as possible on the bar. In this case, we actually have 6 of them. I wonder if it would be wise, maybe, to not play Prodigy's Tempo, since we get our cooldowns back pretty frequently anyway. Like, this doesn't give us any damage, but this one gives us quite a lot of damage. And move speed, or the R. Or attack speed. Okay, I think once you get the hang of it, it will actually kind of work out. But I don't think you should go Prodigy's Tempo at this point. You should go with this. I just realized that a funny way to play this would also be Vital Strikes. Go Vital Strikes into the shell. And you have like insane healing, and it drains you all the time, and you have insane healing again. You could probably just out heal it easily and just stay at full life. Thorns of Rake and Gorilla main instead of Thrash. Thorns of Rake, huh? I don't think that's really gonna be a strategy. I mean, yeah, I can get Ferocity and cooldown reduction. But Rake is, I think, a relatively slow hitting ability and also very small. Okay, it has one advantage though, which is that it double hits actually with the aspect. And that double hit should also carry the Thorns Gorilla at full value actually. So maybe it's not so bad. Rake Thorns build could actually work out, I think. And even with just 65% of the base damage, that would be fine. But I mean, it's basically the same story as the normal Rake build, right? It's just that you scale Thorns. I guess the main advantage is you can also play low life Bruiser's aspect, but you don't actually require to go unyielding hits and use Gorilla skills all the time. But yeah, if you play low life, then you almost always have primary Spirit Hall Gorilla. And if you want to make a Thorns build, then that's the case anyway. Touch of Death heals for a lot if you go that route, and Lost proc that as well. Yeah, Touch of Death does heal. But I don't really want to put Touch of Death in there. I think that's actually what I did for my other build. Let me check. I made a bitter medicine build. I think that revolves around Touch of Death. If I'm not mistaken. No. It's actually revolves around Stinger. This has healing built in as well. And we have Perdition Helm. Very funny. Yeah, so you have the primary Gorilla Spirit Hall potency. Unyielding hits, two-handed bruisers there. Flame power, redirected force. Even 400% crit. Yeah, it's quite a bit different, the setup. So I'm not sure if like here it would make too much sense to go bitter medicine. But it would probably still do some pops. I wonder if I can just copy this Paragon board and put it here. Wait, that's the wrong one. This one is what I want. So I got Colossal. I got Harmony, Gorilla, okay. Got the Ritual. Don't do the shenanigans. Canny, Talent, Spirit. Yeah, I think it needs a bit of work at some point here. The setup. Razor Wings thing is not fully cooked yet. I do put armor on neck on a lot of my Spiritborn builds actually. This one has it, for example. Like, you always end up with so many uniques. And also a very important defensive temper, so you don't want to put like an armor temper or some shit on your pants, for example. Like, usually I want to go for the resolve stacks. And even if you don't go for that, there's like the resolve generation rate, there's the resolve generated. There's res, worst case. I'm sure it's resilient again. Wait, I mean, they can temper resilient, I just realized. That's also pretty good, actually. They removed it from barbs, but now you can go resilient on Spiritborn. That's kind of funny. It would be interesting to try to cook a build around the overpower weapon, and then go for like, 20 ranks in resilience, and have like Giga life. That'd be pretty fun. Does the overpower weapon actually come with some life though? Of course not. Okay. F. What do you think about the motion Akbar with Integracy? I don't think you can just spam Seeker. I mean, if that works, that would be the solution to everything for the setup I just made. I don't believe that this is how it works though. I think that would be weird if you can just like infinitely spam your Seeker, right? With nothing else, just using that weapon. I don't think this is how it's gonna go. But it might. The last potency defensive focus skill you cast prior is reset. Yeah, you can interpret it either way, right? It could mean like another skill, or it could mean that since it has attack, it just works for itself. Yeah, I've been cooking some Spiritborn stuff with Centipedes. Actually, one of the first things I made, Stinger, and I also made a Touch of Death build. I say to like look into basic builds, yeah, it's also gonna be kind of fun. People seem to not like my PTR feedback. Yeah, that's fine, they never like it. Yeah, I realized I could actually get away with like sometimes just not putting those 2 points here in Rushing Claw. I mean, this one is kind of lost point anyway. And then there's only 10 dodge, yeah. There's actually easy 2 points if I need them. I need to remember this. You think they want the other 3 again? Well, I have good news for them, if they want the other 3. Can you have a link? I can give you a link for Stinger, you mean? Yeah, I mean, this is not done yet, so might change quite a lot. But for now, that's what I got. Why would people hate the feedback? It's because I say stuff like, please reduce the numbers, please nerf the glyphs, please make Torment 4 harder, so obviously people are gonna hate it. You know, that's how it goes. But the funny part is that people then hate on my YouTube comments about it, and they haven't even played the PTR, they haven't even felt what it is, you know, and so on, right? They just say, please don't make it harder, even though they don't even have an understanding of how easy it is, or something like that. Yeah. Like, the people that actually did play the PTR, like, overwhelmingly told me, hey, Torrent 4 is too easy. You know, like, on my stream, for example, like, most of the voices that I heard were people saying something like that. And most people here that actually, you know, played the PTR and were here and watching me PTR and stuff like that, they also said, yeah, like, why are these numbers, like, in the billions? Why are we doing more damage than on live server post-stat squish? You know, all this stuff. And I try to give my reasoning for all of these things. That, I mean, it's just how it works. That's just YouTube. There will be a tier list for a Spiritborn character only. Yeah, so currently our plan for the tier list is we go here and then we go to, like, let's say Endgame. So you basically take all of this. Let's just make this, let's say red. We take all of this down. So we start at B. Yeah. And then here comes Spiritborn. Tier. And then we do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 69 builds for Spiritborn. And then maybe a few of them will land, like maybe like starting at build 42. They will start in A tier somewhere. And then, you know, up to 69s will fill up A tier. And then the rest of the classes will start here. Yeah, Barb. So that's the plan right now. What do you guys think? Logical plan? Yes, I think so too. Now, but actually what we do have planned is that we are gonna make some kind of feature for like class-specific tier lists where you will be able, like, if you only care about Barb or you only care about Spiritborn or something like that, you will have like a filter for this, and there will be a like a dedicated, you know, endgame Barb tier list where you have like, you know, Whirlwind, Hoda, Upheaval, whatever, and only see that without like all of the other classes and stuff like that, in addition to the overall one. So that's something that we are currently thinking about. This thing is getting large, by the way. We have an entire class to add, and probably like at least a dozen new builds across the old classes. I just realized this tier is getting large. Yeah. But it is what it is. S is for Spiritborn and B is for Barb. Kinda. The Spiritborn leveling guide will rank above the best Barb endgame. Oh man. Yeah, we were discussing like Rogue builds as well. I mean, Rogue is also looking pretty insane. And Mippy seems not very fond of Rain of Arrows, but I will probably force someone to write it. And I said, yeah, like even Rain of Arrows is probably better than the entire Barb class. So we should kind of have it. So, we'll see. Any plans to add nodes to the Maxwell Planner? Yes, actually. There's gonna be some pretty big updates soon. You don't wanna make the Barbs too anxious by trying to find a build somewhere down in B with the other 100 builds. Yeah, fair. I mean, Barb does have, at the very least, Mighty Throw. Mighty Throw is also super fun. So Mighty Throw is really good and really fun. So they have that at least to look forward to, and maybe there might be some other buffs. I think Barb, there's like a lot of feedback that, you know, Barb core skills are too weak and these kind of things. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some buffs there, maybe. Or like, they could maybe undo part of the key passive nerfs. Like, when they nerfed the key passives, like, I was expecting they would nerf Gushing Wounds and kind of leave the rest as it is. But then it's like a sweeping nerf for all key passives in true Blizzard style. And that kind of hurt the class as well, I think. Maybe also 4 TP sucked at first during PTR, but he changed his mind. Yeah, I mean, Mippy always has like a very, very like high-end attitude with these things. But he's gonna be fine, I think, in the long run. He's like, oh man, I can't farm T100 in 4 minutes? This build sucks. You know, that's Mippy. So that's a bit too try hard. Why did I nerf Walking Arsenal? Yeah. A lot of key passives need love. Actually, I did put exposure into the new Death Trap rogue, at least for the like early endgame version. This is where you start with exposure, and then you later switch to close quarters. I think exposure could be interesting if they make it like, yeah, it probably needs a rework at some point, especially these days where like it's not even required to like reset Death Trap anymore and stuff. And now, what's the point exactly? But yeah, it's like an early game thing at least. Maybe they could add some scaling to it, or at the very least they could like fix the other key passes, like Precision has double dipping, Alchemical Mixture has double dipping, triple dipping. Yeah. Close quarters is fine. Victimize has all of double dipping. So if they remove all the double dipping, then also the key passes will kind of close, like the gaps will close a bit. Remember last video we were speedrunning Pit 200 and live and we struggled to clear 125 and 30. Yeah, that's okay. I think this is how it should be. It's kind of across the board. The core skill is undergrade. You mean like for barbers only or for other classes? Right, other classes don't really have that problem, I think. It's mostly barbs that have like this core skill problem, I'd say. Could be worse. So gained 1 key passive and lost 6. Yeah. Yeah, I think like, okay, this only really applies to some builds though, right? Like something like Frozen Orb or Lightning Spear Sork, they go ham with that. And they could change the key passive to, for example, only work with hard casts, right? Or they could like tweak the mechanic of it a little bit or something. I kind of like that they're trying to make like multi-element Sork a thing, but we're not really at the point where, you know, I can play Fireball and Frozen Orb in the same build, or like Chain Lightning and Fireball or something like that, right? This is what I want. You know, it needs to be like the Trinity support in PoE, where you can actually have like 2 skills and you cast one, you cast the other, and here and there or something like that. That would be cool. That's what I want to see. You know what's weird? Close quarters doesn't double dip. Yeah, I know. Yeah, who knows what they're thinking when they're making this stuff, so... At this point, I just kind of accept it after, like, you know, 4 seasons of feedback. They're not changing precision or something like that. Or maybe they will at some point. You know, I'm not trying anymore, at least. So, it's just a feature at this point until something happens. How has Sorg not gotten tagged changing aspects and uniques yet? Yeah, there could be like a lot of stuff like that. Also, like just like your Hydra is now a cold Hydra or like a lightning Hydra or something, right? This could also be cool. Yeah, Sorg has so much potential, and I feel like they're not really using it well. What category is the Blood Wave Spirit? On the tier list, you mean? I mean, that's like easy S tier. It's the strongest build actually that we had on a PDR, so it's actually #1 outside of Spiritborn builds. At least from the current standings, but there's a bunch of bugs involved that make it stronger than it should be. Quite a lot stronger, to be fair. So if they fix the bugs, it's gonna be good and probably still able to do T100, but it's not gonna just like waltz through a T100 in 3 minutes. It's gonna be more of a struggle. All I have to do is make the Sork enchant, change the skill type. It's so easy. They won't do it. Yo, Donan, thanks for the prime, man. Make Frozen not be a fire skin, it would be such a cool enchant. Yeah, I'm not sure if like enchant slots should be something like that. If anything, I think there should be more in like the unique territory or even the legendary glyph effects, where you can like now all your skills count as fire skills and leave behind a burn or something like that. Or, these kind of things. That'd be cool. Or you literally make it unique, like for Frozen Orb, that says, okay, your Frozen Orb casts are now, leave behind lava and explode in fire or something. I mean, that would probably be too close to like Fireball, I guess. But just as an example. They messed up on the 3PDR. Yeah, I heard. Blizzard now counts as burning. Yeah, exactly. You can do many cool things like that. It's kind of sad to see what they did with the glyphs after all. Just like, okay, 20% damage here, 20% damage there. Some of them are just kind of like plain useless now because they gave them 20% damage, but it's only active like 20% of the time. I mean, what the hell. So kind of sad. They just slapped extra damage modifiers on it, and that was it. Instead of like trying to be more creative and making some cool stuff out of it. Like, it doesn't need to be perfectly balanced between every glyph if you make like, kind of special effects out of it, right? You can still balance the builds that come out of it later on anyway. Individually. So it's fine. Thank you, Nephilim. If you wanted to progress faster in the new season, would you recommend playing a different class in Spiritborn first? Probably not. I guess no matter what, Spiritborn will be extremely strong, even if you don't know the class well or you build it wrong. So I mean, it's up to you. Like, if you're really, familiar with a certain build, like, of course, if you start Season 6 and you're gonna play an Aerostorm's Rogue, you're gonna be zooming. And Aerostorm's Rogue is just like easy build, it's known, it just works, sure, right? Like, Rogues will certainly be very competitive when it comes to like speed running or something like that, and in the higher end as well. Rogues are just pretty nutty right now. And then later they transition to like Death Trap Rogue, Dance Rogue, whatever. I didn't link the builds yet, Zar. I still need to like do a lot of polishing, but I will do it soon. There's like a few more builds I'm gonna cook over the next days, and then I'm probably gonna do like a second pass on most of them, and then we're gonna start releasing them. You still get resource to upgrade items on the pit? No, this is not mine winners now. Yeah, I think what they should have done is they should have like taken a bit of inspiration from like unique items and legendary aspects, and then make the legendary glyph effects similar to that, like something transformative, Something like adding skill tags. Something like, you know, changing all of your damage to a certain type. I don't know. Something that can proc, you know, some special effect. These kind of things, man. This, I mean, of course, I would have would have to come up with a lot of things there, because every class is like 20 cliffs. But on the other hand, it would be amazing for like build diversity and experimentation and everything, right? Like this alone would like explode the number of builds you could make. It did with bitter medicine. Yeah, I mean, bitter medicine is not a glyph though. It's just like a one legendary node, and it is an interesting one. The glyphs are just kind of too boring, I think, in their current state. Yeah, I just answered that actually, Joshua, but the answer is you get it from Nightmare Dungeons now, not from the pit anymore. And I guess Infernal Hordes. Okay guys, I think I'll go offline and try to start writing a Quill Volley Spiritborn guide. Well, actually I did start writing it a few weeks ago, but I need to finalize it, since we actually have a planner for that now. So, hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna get back tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow is last epoch. I might log in and blast. We'll see. Keep us on. Yeah, guide writing and stream is not a good combo. Bye, guys. I'm gonna make Lord Fluffy. How about that? I haven't read him in a long time. I haven't really seen him in a long time either. I just see him sometimes writing on the Diablo partner Discord, so he's around. But I rarely see him stream. Clone Norfa, have him do all the guys. Yeah, if it only was that easy. Norfa is gonna be busy enough with Sork, I think. Alright, see ya.